Here we are at the halfway point, and our Missoula real estate market's starting to give us some indications of what we might expect as we round the corner into the second half of the year. And we're also going to see some surprising results when we look back over the last month or two in some of the data. My name's Jeremy Williams at the Bannock Real Estate Group, and every month we try to bring you hyper-local information so you can make strategic decisions whether you're buying or selling or investing in real estate before you read about it in traditional channels. So far this year, the data is indicating that buyers don't like change. When we see the rates bouncing around, the buyers tend to pull back. When we see some consistency, we see the buyers engage, and that even is at a high interest rate, the buyers are still engaging. So let's go through the different dynamics of what we could expect for right now coming into the rest of the year. So what is going on in the Missoula real estate market? Well, currently there's 183 properties for sale, which is up over the previous months. And when I refer to 183 properties for sale, I'm talking about just single family, townhome, and condos. It's not going to include your manufactured housing, and sometimes there's some other more temporary types of housing that's not in that figure. So there is some additional housing available, but for the sake of our report, there's 183 properties for sale. One thing that we're noticing is if you're looking under 800,000, it's very much a seller's market. If you're over 800,000, well, it's certainly becoming a buyer's market. Now, there's not a lot of homes for sale in that price range, so no, in any given month, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 additional houses that happen to sell, it's going to skew those numbers back and forth from a buyer's market to a seller's market. But we have seen that buyer's market trend for at least 5 months now, so we're paying attention to it. Usually when market changes, they start at the top and they slowly work their way down. So a couple months ago, we talked about $1 million was becoming more of a buyer's market, then 900,000, and now we're in the 800 range. We want to pay attention to that because that might creep into the 700 range, and it might be a sign of a changing market. Although here's the good news. There was 108 homes that sold last month, and out of those 108 homes, the median price was $530,000, which meant that half of those homes sold for over $530,000 and half of them sold for under $530,000. So you do have options. We're starting to see some more options in the lower price ranges and some more inventory coming onto the market. Here's the surprising news. Out of the pendants, from May to June, we saw a 149% increase in the number of homes that went under contract. So it's a big change. Part of the reason for that big change is we had more homes available. It created more options for the buyers at better price ranges. So we're going to watch that. It's certainly a sign of what we call an inventory constrained market where there's a lot of buyers there. We just don't have the homes to support them. Another area we can see evidence of an inventory constrained market is in the absorption rate. So if you've been watching our channel, we look at absorption rate as supply and demand, or how many buyers in the market compared to how many sellers. And we use an algorithm that kicks out how much months of inventory there is. So basically, if no other houses come on the market and you had 5 months of inventory, it would take 5 months for all those houses to sell. So in our marketplace, if you're under 6 months of inventory or months of inventory, it's considered a seller's market. Over would be a buyer's market. The highest that we've seen this year is 3 months of inventory last February. And for the last 4 or 5 months, we've seen that gradually decline to a stronger and stronger seller's market. And currently we have 1.69 months of inventory. So extreme seller's market across the board. That's something we're going to be paying attention to as we round the corner into August and September. A result of having a very strong under contract month and also low absorption rate, which is a very strong seller's market, we've seen our list of sales price stay for another month, third month in a row actually, at 100%. So that means most sellers are getting their asking price, sometimes a little over, sometimes a little under, but it's averaging 100%. Where this really comes into play is we've actually seen 4 to 5% appreciation over last year. So our market is still moving along and we are still appreciating price. So what does this mean for the Missoula real estate market? Barring no major changes and rates relatively staying the same as we've seen them for the last couple months, I expect the end of July into beginning of August to be the high point of the market, meaning we have the most under contracts and the most sales. As we get through August, Expect inventory to be higher than we've seen all year. It's probably going to be the high point of inventory, and sales are going to slowly decline as we get to the end of the year, which means if you're a buyer and you're looking for a property, August is going to be the time that you really want to focus on. It's going to be the highest point of the inventory, and sellers may be a little bit more negotiable than we've seen in the past. I do expect that 100% list to sales price to creep down a little bit to get buyers in their homes before winter. We still do hear predictions of low interest rates coming. And I still hear people talking about we might even see rates in the 5s by the end of the year or next year. And every once in a while I hear people say, hey, we're just going to wait for those low rates. Well, here's the thing about waiting for low rates. You wait for that low rate. When rates come down, prices will go up. So a lot of our clients are getting into a well-priced house now, expecting to refinance the next year or two to get down to that low rate. So now they got a better price and better rate. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 6 months, it's important that you give us a call. We're going to put together a custom package to help you get from one place to another. And of course, you could always reach me on my personal cell phone number. The number is 406-531-1519, and we look forward to talking to you soon.